What's happening, fellas? We're finally getting around to populating the first two shelves of the portable library. I actually bought 8 of these shelves from Pratt & Whitney when they closed down their portable library and went all online. And I did this for a reason, kind of a personal crusade, because as a kid, as much as I love to read, I noticed that the libraries had squat. If you're lucky, they had 2 magazines and maybe 3 or 4 books, no matter what library I went to. Had a very shitty selection of motorcycle books. So for the last 10 years, I've been collecting hard copy books. I've got another shelf downstairs. I don't have an inventory of that yet. And I have another shelf in my house. But just here, what you see here is 276 hardbound books that we've collected. I think it's important to preserve the history of motorcycles. One of the things I have noted is there's a lot more books written about Harley Davidson than most other brands. Well, certainly than all other brands combined. In fact, I have 109 Harley books just on these 2 shelves right here. We also have encyclopedias, full range of encyclopedias. 40 motorcycle encyclopedias here. A few different authors, a few different types. But these Harley Davidson books, some of them I've got like 4 of the same. A lot of these were purchased at swap meets. I would go there. A lot of these I purchased from the store when they were new. Some were donated. If you donated books to the museum, thank you. We're finally getting around to doing this. These shelves were in really rough shape. They're from the 50s from Pratt & Whitney. This building's 1814, so we don't need new stuff in here. We just need good stuff. And trust me, they don't make them like they used to. This is super heavy duty, solid steel. These shelves each weigh in excess of 300 pounds. And this is marine grade plywood that we used on the shelving. Dean, who's been a union carpenter for 30 years, put these shelves together. Woody, who's been a bodybuilder for 30 years, restored these. It took him a couple weeks full time to restore all 8 shelves, and they've been coated with a Raptor bed liner. If you have any books and you want to contribute them to the museum, hardbound books or magazines, just these 2 shelves have 276 books. And when we're dead and gone, if somebody doesn't take the crusade to preserve these books, where are they going to end up? Because they're not in the libraries. A lot of them get thrown out when people pass away. People just throw stuff out. They don't think it has any value, but this is the history of our motorcycles. This whole shelf right here is all miscellaneous motorcycle books, pictorial history of motorcycling. When you're restoring bikes, here's one by my good friend Rick Seaman. I was a big fan of Rick's for many years. You may know him as Super Hunky. That was his road name, and he was the editor for Dirt Bike magazine for many years. He passed away recently, but in any event, we're all going to be dead and gone. If we're lucky, we'll live 78 years. That's the American average, right? So even some cool unknown books like The Ride of a Lifetime, and I'll probably be pulling from these books and going over what I find when I eventually sit down to read them with you guys. So there's a ton of content here. These are all British motorcycles, so you'll see that shelf right there is all Harley Davidson. This whole shelf and this, a total of 109 Harley Davidson. We've got 25 British, so about, I guess 25% is more people are interested in writing books about British bikes. And then for the Japanese, it's kind of sad. I got 1 Yamaha book, 2 Honda books, and an Indian book. Just not as many books published about those. The rest of these are all motorcycle specific. I also collect license plates. I've got cases of license plates. These 3 boxes right here. On this side, we've got 3 more cases of license plates. A lot of real cool vintage plates. We've collected a shit ton of magazines too. I was just reading one from 1965, the month before I was born. Those are all over here. These are all motorcycle manuals, and we're building. The shelves are done. Well, they're not all done. We got 2 of them done. I got 3 or 4 more to finish. But these will all be on a shelf by brand. Motorcycle manuals. These are all motorcycle magazines in here. There's over 3,000 magazines, and we have more in the other building. A lot of people drop these off and donate them. They come from estates when we clean out an estate with motorcycle stuff. I've got a whole bevy of motorcycle brochures, which is really cool to have. So motorcycle magazines, we'll have a section for those. We'll have a section for motorcycle brochures. magazines, brochures, manuals will all have their own sections. And then, of course, the hardbound books. I would estimate our hardbound book collection at this point, between these two shelves and the ones that are on display in the museum already, at close to 400 books. I can't say exactly because I haven't counted them. These we just did. Anyways, my daughter came up here, Jordan. She's like, "Pops, you've been talking about this for years. You're finally doing it." Well, it is. It's very time consuming, collecting these and then restoring the shelves, building the shelves, then of course organizing them. It's we had a couple retired librarians that are going to help us. So we're just going to pick away at it and slowly put this together. And I'm going to be 60 next year. When I'm dead and gone, this will be left here at the museum and a part of motorcycle history that can be shared and enjoyed and copied and chronicled. And none of this stuff is online, so it could be put online, I suppose. But everything's gone to the internet these days. Very few magazines and book companies are thriving that I know of. It's all online content. So, anyways, I relish these old books. I collected these for many years, and when I was a little kid, literally, I'm talking first, second, third, fourth grade, I always would wake up in the middle of the night, and because I had weird sleep patterns, and I would grab the dirt bike magazine, and I couldn't. Lost my train of thought there. Everybody's talking in the background, but anyways, I would tatter cover to cover the dirt bike magazines and read all the magazines about, mainly from articles that this guy wrote, quite a few of them, and his fellow editors in the dirt bike magazines, about how they modified the bikes from the 70s, and that's what I would do at night, and I educated myself on motorcycles by reading. Now we watch a lot of YouTube videos. We don't do as much reading, but my goal is to read every one of these books cover to cover again before I die, God willing. So, anyways, that's about enough out of me. Just wanted to share this with you guys, the progress we're making on the library here at the New England Motorcycle Museum. We're on the 4th floor. It's got to be 110 degrees in here. It's really hot. Summertime, and this floor is not air conditioned. It is heated, but during the winter it never gets under 50 degrees for obvious reasons. We got sprinklers, but can't afford AC for this floor. But the books will head down into the museum shortly, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and of course, God bless America.